Hello, good morning. I think it's still morning. We have a super exciting little chat today with Caterina Scorsoni. And we're just going to wait for her to join. If you are watching this after the fact, feel free to fast forward. Hi, Mafe. Okay, let's see. We did a dress rehearsal of this. There we go. Caterina. I send a request. Okay. Click here, invite to join. All right. Caterina, if you're there, I'm sending you a request.
Oh,
Yay!
oh, wait, you see me? I just see a circle going around. I hear you though.
You look beautiful. You look like you're in a tree.
Wait, I don't see you.
You don't see.
Oh, there you are.
Turn your Wi-Fi.
We're here.
Yeah,
We,
we did.
we did it.
Caterina, Wi-Fi on?
Is my Wi-Fi on?
Yeah.
Let me. Is that optimal? My Wi-Fi should be on.
Turn it off, I think.
Turn off my Wi-Fi. Okay, 1 second.
We're really good at this in case you were wondering. So like I said, if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to fast forward. Is that even still a thing? Fast forward? That's like what you say for a VHS. Okay.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
How did you know?
In a tree?
I'm outside. I'm under an oak
You
tree.
climbed a tree.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you who did not see our dress rehearsal, we are both very let's just say novice at this operation. And
What
to
I
call
like
our millennial friends.
what I like to say now about any area of my life where I feel a lack of skill is I say it's an emerging skill of mine.
Yes.
Internet is an emerging skill of mine.
Getting better with each moment.
Yeah. So Instagram Live is an emerging skill.
It's so weird. So we are both, I'm a little nervous. Caterina shared with me earlier that she's a little nervous. It's a funny little thing.
Yeah.
But thank you for your time, Caterina. Thank you for being here.
And
And
inviting me.
oh my goodness, this is very exciting. And so, yeah, we're super lucky. This is, I think, one of the last little features that we're doing in honor of Women's History Month, featuring amazing, badass, inspiring women in our Modo community, such as yourself. So, you are someone who I look up to and turn to. And am constantly amazed and inspired by. I don't think I need to introduce you to the people who are watching, but just in case you're not familiar with Caterina, she is an amazing mother of three, an amazing friend, wildly smart, brilliantly funny, so well read, and she also plays Amelia Shepherd on a show called Grey's Anatomy.
As you were saying that, I could literally feel like heat rising. I was like, I think I'm sweating. I'm sweating now. Thank you. What's that?
That tree will ground. Hug that tree behind you. It'll ground you.
I feel all those things about you and have my entire life because I've known you my whole life.
Yes, we've known each other since we were, what, 10?
I think 11. Maybe you were 10. No, I was.
Okay. Well, we did, we grew up in Canada, in Toronto together, and we were in an opera chorus together.
Yep.
So, like, I feel like there's certain things that people know about you. And I kind of wanted to like explore maybe a few things that maybe people don't know about you.
That you know.
What's that?
That you know.
That maybe I know. I don't know. But you're one of five, right?
One of 5 kids, yeah.
5 kids. And so maybe let's start there. What who is little Caterina? What
Ooh, you're going deep.
in your,
You're going deep right away.
I mean, I remember little sleepovers. Uh, I have like vague recollections, but who were you in your households?
Right.
What did you, I mean, you
Ooh.
started acting when you were what, 8?
Yeah, I started acting when I was 8, and actually, interestingly, it all started because of that opera chorus that we were in. Because my sister, my older sister Francesca, was in CCOC with Emisha. Do you remember Emisha Zadaman?
Yeah.
And Emisha had an agent, and so my sister wanted to check it out and do that, and so I kind of tagged along, and the agent signed us both, and then I started auditioning, and that was when I started doing Mr. Dress Up.
Oh my God. And for those of you who are, Mr. Dress Up is like the greatest.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna bring that show back to my kid. Have you ever showed your girls that
I
show?
there's like a couple of clips on the internet, and so I have shown Eliza, like that's mom when she was your age, and Eliza, I think was like, this show doesn't hold up.
Well,
She was like, these special effects are terrible.
yeah.
This
It was
is not a good show.
it
But
was
it
like
was, sorry, go on.
a sweet old man talking to like puppets.
It
Anyway,
was it was basically the Canadian equivalent of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
yeah, yeah, good
And in
call.
fact, Mr. Rogers and Ernie Coombs, Mr. Dress Up, had a show together before Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood happened called Butternut Castle, and they were both puppeteers on that show, and did that
Oh,
together for like 2 years, and then there was a rift, I guess, and one of them started it in Canada and one in the States.
whose side are you on?
I mean,
Mr. Jessup.
Mr. Dress Up,
Yeah.
clearly. I appreciate them both.
So you started acting when you were 8. I do remember you like, you know, being on TV and like Ready or Not. You
Oh
were
my
on Ready
God, yeah, with Laura.
with Laura, also
Yeah,
in COC.
yeah,
Um, but so you did that quite successfully as a kid, and you were busy with it, and then you decided to quit, right?
yeah.
So tell me about that, because I do think it's good to quit things every
I
once in a
sure do too.
while. Just say quit if you like.
Yeah, like a whole new framework for your life. Basically what happened was I started acting again. I was kind of tagging along after my sister. It wasn't something that I aspired to do independently. But we came from this family of 5 children, and my parents, they were academics, but my dad basically ran homeless shelters and did other things in social services, and my mom um, was a social anthropologist, and did like think tanks for the government, but then she also worked at the Archdiocese of Toronto, and so there wasn't a ton of money, and there were a lot of kids, and so I was like, okay, I guess I'll start acting, because I don't think I'm going to be able to go to college if I don't save up for
Right.
myself, and so that was what happened, and then it just kind of really went well, and so by the time I was 19 or 18, I was working quite a bit, but I hadn't really committed to it from a philosophical standpoint. It had just kind of unfolded as my life, and I enjoyed it, and uh, had some success and some skill there. But I guess again, coming from a family that was so committed to like social justice um, and academe and theology, I was like, I need to do something really meaningful, and I wasn't convinced yet that Hollywood and making movies and TV was like meaningful. I wanted to do something really important for humanity, and it wasn't until I quit and went to college and studied philosophy and comparative religions and literature that I came to like a deep adult understanding of how important narrative storytelling is for humanity, and how we come to like understand ourselves and our relationship with spirit and our relationship with self and our relationship with the people around us and our larger communities and societies, through self-reflection, through narrative. And so that was when I was able to like actually land in a kind of passionate mission in my vocation as an actor. And but yeah, it kind of took a roundabout route.
You just said so many things that I wanted to tangent. Wow, I don't know that I ever met them, but maybe I did. They sound incredible. Sense
Wait, who?
what
My parents?
your parents?
They're
Yeah,
awesome. They're so cool.
absolutely. Yeah. And it
You're
makes
breaking up a
sense.
little bit. I didn't hear what you just said.
Oops.
Say it again.
It makes sense that you are who you are because you also have this amazing ability to weave in social activism in a really authentic way, in a way that's really meaningful. But I want to go back to so you said I love what you said about storytelling, and this is something I think you do so well. You end up I think in the role that you play as Amelia, she's so layered, and the way that you bring life, the way you breathe life into her, I feel like has this such a powerful effect of destigmatizing aspects of um, being a woman, a human being, and you also bring a depth and a like you could just tell that while you may not have been in the exact situations, there's such a depth of inquiry that you possess that it's almost like, yeah, you feel like you're getting so many layers, and you add this layer of humor, which is like just so brilliant.
You're frozen.
And so, yeah,
Wait,
I
you were
think,
just frozen.
oh,
What did you say? You
I
said
was saying you're brilliant, that you add this layer of humor on some really dark shit.
I think, I mean, I think humor, one of the things that to me is like so delicious and compelling about humor, and also lends itself to depth, really, is that I think that bridge where something that wasn't exactly articulated is understood between the two of them. And so there's this like leap of faith that we are having the same experience of like delightful surprise together. I don't know, there's a joining that happens in laughter that I think you can take it as like a kind of fun, silly thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like you did cut out. I was trying to catch. You're a little blurry. You said so many wisdom bombs in that last section. I'm hoping that I was the only one who didn't hear that, but you are a little blurry. Are
Oh, okay.
you
I don't
me?
know. Again, I have not worked out the kinks of my like digital life at all. If there's a millennial out there who wants to help me out, I'm hiring.
Oh,
Wait.
maybe didn't. So I can you?
I'm gonna try to get closer to the house. I'm gonna see if this helps. It might not be as pretty. But
Well, you were a little blurry, so I would love to see your face.
wait, but if I turned off my Wi-Fi for this, then does getting close to the house mean anything? Does it do anything? I just want to like do this by telegram. Okay.
Caterina, we're getting old.
I know. It happened. We weren't looking.
Um, I would love for you to repeat a little what you just said because you cut out and I was catching little bits of it. It was so beautiful and
The thing about humor?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, now I got to do it again. Let's see. What was I saying? I was saying, I think one of the things that's so delightful about humor is that it operates on these multiple levels. Kind of like when it can be kind of silly and frivolous, but I think the mechanism of a joke or the mechanism of humor is to have multiple listeners or just the teller and the listener profoundly and in silence kind of meet each other in this like punchline where they recognize the ridiculous together, or they recognize that they both got surprised by the ending together, or they recognize an incoherence in behavior. That's a lot of Amelia's humor is I think she's, in some ways she's kind of a mess, and in other ways she's extremely self-aware. And so some of her humor comes out of the fact that she's like, she knows she's a mess, and she knows that what she's about to do or what that other is doing is incongruent with like what in their best moments they would be doing. I don't know. She's self-aware in a way that, and when she communicates it, we recognize ourselves. And we're like, oh yeah, that's funny because I know that I do that too, or I know a friend who does that. And so in that, yeah, just that in that recognition, we both get to have like this ticklish laugh, but we also are profoundly connected to, yeah, our essential sameness.
Yeah, yeah, that's such a beautiful way to put it. It's like this little communion that you get brought in.
Yeah.
And she is like a little bit it's like she's got this observing eye kind of at all times, like watching watching the situation as she's living it.
Right. And I think she's a mess, but she's also like profoundly in the way she kind of encounters her mess and other people's mess. She's profoundly forgiving. Like
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I love about her is that she's aware of her own flawed and personality structure and capacity. And so she grants that grace to other people when she encounters their kind of inconsistencies and limitations. She's like, yeah, we're a mess, and then we're dying one day. And so she's disarming that way. What's that?
Yeah. How do you feel like, first of all, what's it like to play a character, any character, for as long as you've played? And how do you feel like she has woven herself into, or has she woven herself into your being? Or vice versa?
Wait a sec. As you were asking that question, I'm going to answer it. But first, I want to take a pause for those of you who don't know this. Emily Morwen is an excellent actor.
Oh God.
And literally, I'm sorry, I might be sharing too much, but I think probably the best one woman show I've ever seen was your one woman show that you did at that theater space. It was so brilliant. I still think of it now. And your body work and your voice work and your character analysis was so brilliant. And that was, I think, like right as you were getting Modo off the ground. You were kind of doing both things.
My last hurrah.
It was the most incredible hurrah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I'm going to back on you now.
Okay.
Will you tell me a little bit about this cat quit acting and became or was on a midwife?
Wait a second. What do I have to do to make this signal better? Because I heard like every third word of that.
Oh, well, you're much better now, but I think definitely we were a little
okay.
That's good right now.
Okay. Is there anything? Okay. Ask me again and I will hopefully.
who was Caterina who quit acting
Yeah.
and who went off to study with Ina May Gaskin, who
Right.
is like a world-renowned feminist and of midwifery. Um, and this is something that you did.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm closer to the house. I'm wondering if this is going to help.
What
Um,
a little like or like tinfoil on your head.
Wait a
And
second. Let me try. I'm going to try and put the Wi-Fi back on, and I'm going
okay,
to see if that helps. Okay.
this is basically a lesson in what not to do for Instagram Live. Thanks for staying with us. Are you back? You're frozen.
How's
No,
that?
you're good.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you seem better too. Okay.
Oh, good.
All right. So ask me again.
Midwife May, talk about it. Who is this woman who decided I'm gonna quit acting and I am gonna become a midwife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna study with an incredible woman, and yeah,
Okay. So again, I think a lot of people are like, I'm an actor and I want to be an actor and I will do the things that will serve that path. And I think I kind of have almost an opposite orientation where I'm like, I am on a path. And if acting serves that path, cool. And so for a lot of my life, acting has been like the most juicy, creative, and practically lucrative and stimulating, adventurous thing for me to do, and that's been wonderful. But there have been points in my life where my path has kind of led me towards curiosity about other things, and so one of those was after after what is my timeline? My timeline's a little muddy. It's been so long, but before I kind of came out to LA and fully committed to doing this thing again. Well, I came out to LA to study with a midwife.
that's what I thought.
Yeah. So what had happened before that was I had done my undergraduate degree, and I was coming to this like profound understanding of the importance of storytelling, and that is one thing that is true. And also, um, actually, I had watched the first season of Grey's Anatomy, and I thought it was really awesome. And I thought for a minute that I might want to be a doctor. So that was one piece.
Really?
Yeah. And I like went to the medical faculty and did like a lecture series on like, what is it like if you switch from humanities into medicine? And I got to the end and I was like, I don't think I want to be a doctor.
After watching Grey's
After watching the first season of Grey's Anatomy. And I was like, I don't actually think I want to be a doctor. I think I just want to be on Grey's Anatomy. So, but
you're the only person in the world who said that and then was on.
it manifested.
I
But
thought it said that.
I know it's pretty weird. There are some days where I'm like, are we dreaming? Is this a dream? I think it is. But okay, so my sister had been interested in having a home birth with my beautiful niece, Zoe, and she did that, and I was her doula during that process, and that kind of blew my mind. And I think I came to this like profound appreciation for what women and their bodies have done for time immemorial, and the power of it. And I suddenly started to question the narrative. I think watching my sister give birth to a baby in our house, and how empowering that was, and how for me, I think it reframed my entire relationship with my body and my femininity and the power of it, as opposed to the like, they talk about like, the maiden and the mother. and the maiden's kind of like waiting for something to happen, right? And the mother is like, no, I make it happen. It's happening in me. Like, I'm the location of the happening, right? I'm not waiting for somebody to come and like bestow happening upon me. And so watching my sister go from maiden to mother in this profoundly powerful way, um, unassisted by anyone but women, I think really, yeah, it kind of rocked my world, and it made me want to know more and question more about the narrative that we've inherited as women, that, um, this kind of passive narrative of like waiting and waiting for the perfect rescuer for us. And that, I think that's ubiquitous in our culture in terms of like, the love stories we see on TV and the movies, and the way things are marketed to women, um, to all of us, not just women. Poor guys, they have to like be these like ridiculous chivalrous rescuers, they think, and they are not doing a great job at it, so they constantly feel like a failure. Um, it's terrible for them too. It's not just us. But I started questioning the narrative, and I read Ina May Gaskin's book. Oh, come on, Guide to Childbirth. Ina May Gaskin's Guide to Childbirth.
Yeah.
And Spiritual Midwifery, which was like also awesome, but like way more psychedelic.
Yeah.
And I decided to go to the farm, and I was studying being a doula, and I went to the farm to learn to be an assistant midwife. And
Wait, for those of you who don't know what the farm is, it is literally
yeah, it's a commune. It's a hippie commune that was founded in, I believe, 1971. I don't know if anybody on here remembers, there was this like school bus caravan because there was something called the Monday night class. Am I conflating stories? I believe it was the Monday night class. And it was this like professor at Berkeley who was like lecturing all about like cannabis culture and all these different things. And they ended up causing a bit of a stir. And so he and his students ended up like taking over all these school buses and painting them like beautiful psychedelic colors and doing this caravan through the United States, and buying a plot of land in Tennessee. And if anyone needs to correct my facts here, go for it. But they bought this huge plot of land in Tennessee, and they started like one of the longest standing working communes in modern American history. And in that process, Ina May Gaskin and Pamela Hunt and a bunch of the women involved in that community started questioning the narrative, because at the time, women were like put into like twilight sleep to give birth to their babies, and like basically drugged up and strapped down, and their partners were not allowed in the room with them. And it was this very kind of disempowering experience to have a baby at that time in the 70s. Right. And it was often a traumatic experience and a bewildering, confusing experience where you'd like go into the hospital pregnant and they'd knock you out, and then you'd have a baby and you didn't know what happened to your body. And so I think it was profoundly traumatic for a lot of people. And so Ina May Gaskin and Pamela Hunt started handcuffing themselves to their partners when they were going into the hospital. And then they were like, so that their partners could be there. And then they were like, screw this, let's go back to basics and learn what midwives have been doing all this time and reconnect with our bodies. And so they started relearning the art of midwifery, which is midwife means with woman. And the profound kind of semantic shift there is it's not, it's a word that suggests that the woman is birthing her baby, that the woman is giving birth to her baby powerfully. And the midwife is there to be with her and to support her while she does this powerful, profound thing. As opposed to she is passive, doesn't know what's happening, and we are rescuing her from the sin of her femininity that has resulted in this terrifying, death-defying situation. And so, wow. Yeah. Which is not to say, and here's where I do the...
Oh, you're cutting out.
Available to people. I was saying I love hospitals. I love that they're available to people, especially who have complicated births and even totally regular births. But again, it's about this like philosophical shift to the woman is powerfully giving birth to her baby, just like she powerfully conceived her baby and is powerfully going to raise her baby. And the medical staff that's involved is there to support her as opposed to rescuing her. She doesn't understand what's going on, and she's just kind of got to be compliant and let them do their thing, you know.
Absolutely. And to space for for that wildness, that like absolutely beautiful, multifaceted spirit, you know, like for those of you who don't, well, you had your babies,
I did have
right?
my babies at home. You're, by the way, you're breaking up a lot, so I'm not hearing a lot of what you're saying. Do you have Wi-Fi? Is there a way to make your Wi-Fi?
Oh,
Or are you
maybe
fine for everyone but me?
I see myself, but
I see you, but then your voice cuts out.
really,
Is it my internet? I feel like everyone online knows what's happening, and I don't. I have other skills. This is an emerging skill.
but I can hear you now. I love what you said. I think that is so beautiful that the you know that there's this idea that there's a team of people surrounding a woman to basically support her, trusting she knows, trusting she has everything that she needs.
Yeah, she has everything she needs. She might need a help out. She might need a
little help.
Yeah.
Caterina,
I mean, or she might need a lot of help. But again, even if she needs a lot of help, that her agency is being, she's the one running this show. You know what I mean? She's saying, okay, you know, even in the most extreme cases, okay, there's a shoulder dystocia. What are we going to do about it, team? But she's an active participant in this transformative moment in her life where she transitions from being, where she transitions into her motherhood.
right?
You know,
Right. Caterina and I were texting each other while we were in labor.
Oh my God, that's right. We were in labor at the same time.
We're like,
God, that was wild.
And my first. That was wild.
That was my second, your first. That was crazy. Oh my God. And we were like, how are you? How are you doing? Wait, were you at home or were you in the hospital?
Remember I had
right. Yes, that's right.
this, so I had to be induced.
Right, I remember. Right, and I was home.
I want
time
because
what's that?
I want to respect your time. Because I know we could probably chat for ages, but and we will.
And we will. We could do another one of these.
We could do another one of these.
Yeah.
What are are there women? Is there a woman in your life that you admire?
You
that have me? No, don't.
Yes.
Say that.
Yes,
No.
you.
No,
You're. I mean, I have a few phone calls, but you are definitely like, you're definitely my phone call. Like, I mean, how many times when I've been in like profound vulnerability, you're the person on the end of the phone. my sisters, but like, oh my God, you're absolutely to me like the most profound example of motherhood, both with your own girls, but also your entire community. I mean, you created a community. And you've offered that kind of mother energy to all of these, including myself, these children who kind of come into this community to know themselves and be safe to explore so much, physically, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually. You are quite a lady. I'm very grateful for you.
Very for you as well. And I am so grateful that we figured this out. It's
I know. I'm going to
um,
add this to my list of special skills on my
you
resume.
are you've now emerged,
Um,
Caterina. You
yeah,
did it.
I'm
And
no, I'm going to say that I
like,
have Instagram Live as one of my skills. What?
put that on your special skills, your
Yeah,
resume.
I'm going to. And then I'm going to submit it to you.
Thank you so much. You're
Okay. You're amazing. Come over. No.
I will.
Bye.
Bye. Wait, how do we get out of here?